Bam! Okay guys, so I just did a video about estrogen dominance, and I just wanted to kind of continue it just for a second. And I was going on and on and on and on and on about how there's all these negative feedback loops, how the hypothalamus pituitary gland stops understanding what to do. It has sensors to understand how much estrogen is in the bloodstream. All of a sudden, when the body becomes out of whack, when you have blood sugar too high, when you're taking in too much water or whey protein shakes that are not grass-fed and animal meats that have too much hormone-injected crap in it, this creates a negative feedback loop. The body doesn't understand what's going on with all of these endocrine disruptors, these hormone disruptors, and now all of a sudden your estrogen rises, your testosterone drops, and men are starting to look for estrogen blockers, which is terrible because you need estrogen to help build blood clot and to build bone protection, all this kind of stuff. You can't just block your estrogen, dudes. You got to learn how to get that. You know, our body has this finite balance. This is the reason why I don't like HRTs, because HRTs are going to dock onto hormone receptor sites, and it's not dosed out the way the brain will dose it out. The brain is fantastic, right? The brain has this amazing balancing system. The brain knows what to do. The pituitary gland will tell you you need this much microdosed amount of testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. But when you have endocrine disruptors, they dock on and then they start flooding. Like HRTs, doctors don't, like with Synthroid and Synthroid, Synthroid, for women who've got PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, for people who've got thyroid disorder, and then the doctor's like, here's some synthetic, you know, a T3 or some synthetic thyroid hormone. Here is T4, or here is something for your testosterone or for your estrogen, or let's add more synthetic progesterone. No, people, the brain doesn't understand synthetic things. It's like you're having a flood of too much of one hormone because it's not microdosed out to your thumbprint. We all have our own thumbprints, our own genetics and our epigenetics, and our brain knows what to do if you do the right thing to it. Once you start adding pharmaceuticals, even if it's melatonin, now your brain's like, well, exogenous melatonin from the outside to inside is coming in, so why do I even need to produce melatonin to get to sleep? I'll just use this fake stuff, and then it's not microdosed properly, and then your own ability to produce melatonin goes down, and now your sleep gets worse. That's the same thing with thyroid. You sit and you take all of this synthetic thyroid, and even if you do Armour, you have the same stupid response because it's not microdosed to your particular genetics. So you have to keep taking more and more and more of this stuff to find some quote-unquote balance, right? You have to take more and more and more of these hormones from the outside to the inside of the body to create a reaction in the body, which I don't like, which is why I also don't like exogenous beta-hydroxybutyrate salts, because you need your own body to do it yourself. Yeah, and I got energy all day long, and this is the business, because the business is, for me, somebody who's going to go out and change their thinking and not look for a quick fix to get you in ketosis or to balance your hormones. That's not what it's about, guys. With the last video I did about hormones and estrogen, I'm trying to say, you want to get rid of estrogen? Don't eat hormone-injected meats. Don't drink whey protein. Watch the water that you're drinking. Look at things like the steak and the hamburgers that you're eating at fast food. All you guys trying to just get in the protein, right? I talked about insulin as a hormone and how that hormone doesn't do its job. That insulin is going to be able to, like, either this high levels of insulin is caustic, it's damaging, it has a hard time clearing out of the bloodstream. It's trying to get all the high glucose out. So you're having these negative feedback loops, so the brain doesn't understand how much insulin to microdose out, to dose out to the amount of carbs that you're eating. So it just dumps it. And so these things create an imbalance even in your reproductive hormones, right? Coffee, super sprayed pesticide laden food, or the coffee bean, plant. And so this creates issues with balancing your hormones. The pesticides are made to make a male insect sterile, and it raises the estrogen levels exponentially. The protein shake bottle that you're drinking from, the powder, the plastic that the shake powder is in, like, It sucks. I know. It totally sucks. But that's the reality of it. So the protein shakes, the milk that you guys are trying to do, like get gains on milk, you don't need a lot of insulin to make muscle grow. You only need a little bit. But you just need that insulin to work. And to have it work, the hypothalamus pituitary gland needs to know what to do. And if you keep doing like birth control pills, or guys are doing estrogen blockers, fat cells make more estrogen, and estrogen makes more fat cells. It's a freaking negative loop. That's a problem. And you guys want to use pharmaceuticals to try to build muscle or to try to get lean. That's not the way to do it. I love ketogenesis because it forces you to change your life. You want to not be estrogen dominant? Get some damn sleep. Y'all don't get sleep. I do consultations all day, every day, and I've done so many of them that the real one thing that I notice is that you guys can't sleep. And then you guys can't sleep, you can't balance. You can't methylate. You can't turn on good genes and turn off bad genes. You just keep flipping on those bad genes, and then you start growing boobs, and you lose your muscle. You can't get rid of the plank fat, and you have the belly growth, right? Same thing. It makes boobs and hips grow, estrogen, in women and in men. That's the problem, guys. Your liver doesn't function. Everything becomes out of balance. Your negative thinking, the stress, the overadrenal load, too much adrenaline, too much caffeine. You guys are malabsorptive. You can't get in your vitamins and minerals to fix the damaged cells from the glycating aspect of too much carbs because you think that you're supposed to carb load. And then you drop your carbs, right? Ooh, now I'm going to carb deplete. What do you do to your endocrine system? So now you're carb depleted, but your body is dependent on glucose, and you're not eating any, and your glycogen storages are depleted. And what are you going to do? Become more estrogen dominant. Come on, people, the body's just trying to survive. It doesn't understand we're living in the modern time. Has no idea. Doesn't know what that means. The best way to get fit is to rebalance and regroup and stop getting on message boards and listening to everybody's experience because it's going to be so convoluted. Just learn about the human body. And people ask me where I get my information from. It's very simple. Just learn about histology. Learn about biology. Because too much glucose in the system is glycating. That's a fact. We were never, ever meant to, never designed to have all that glucose past 5 grams per meal, 5 grams, which is a teaspoon. Because now the pancreas can't do the math on 20, 50, 100, 200, 400. That's why people like keto. Because keto doesn't require a lot of insulin, so you become insulin sensitive. So now you only secrete a little bit of insulin, and it does a big job, and it does it well. You don't need a lot of protein because you're less catabolic. And so now you need less protein and less insulin to grow muscle, which is why I grew 15 pounds in a year and a half, eating grass-fed beef 3 times a day on a tiny little frame, and still kept my lean body mass on no carbs. Because I no longer needed a lot of insulin to have muscle grow. And my adrenal glands weren't overtaxed by producing too much adrenaline than cortisol, and then going into gluconeogenesis, slowing down the ability to get bubbly muscle. It's a process, guys, and it's freaking amazing to learn about. Ketogenesis is more than fat loss. So if you learn about it, you can actually start repairing the body. So if you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com, Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, or Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagrammy. And now I'm on Periscope. If you guys go to stephanieperson.com, I still do consultations. In the near future, I will stop. And Instagram is just fun. Facebook, I actually like to talk about the body and how keto works. And no friggin' fighting on it. Like, I don't like the before and after stuff because it's subjective. Before and after pictures are subjective because most people who lose their first 12 pounds on keto are losing water. It's a muscle. That's a whole nother science behind. And also I do Periscopes. So if you guys want to join my Periscope, which is really dope now, I love it because I can instantly talk to you guys. It's a broadcasting app. So download it. I don't work for the company. I just love using it. download the app onto a tablet or your smartphone, and it looks like a little eyeball teardrop thing with a red, it's blue and then the middle is red. Download the app, and it's really simple. You can actually just, don't have to create a profile right away. You can just connect it and join through your number or through your Twitter account or just your phone number if you register your phone number. They make it easier for us to download these apps or get them started. And then you look for Steph the Business. So STEPHTHEBIZNESS. Business is spelled BIZNESS, Steph the Business. And when I go live, instead of like writing and asking things always on YouTube, just go to Periscope. And I'll be right there talking to you live. It's awesome. It can be replayed for 24 hours, and then it has to be switched over and it gets caught onto my Twitter. So if you want to watch the replay, you can go to my Twitter, but I've been also posting it on my Facebook. When I post Periscopes on YouTube, all the comments that people make are left off. You can't see them, so it looks like I'm talking to a ghost. It's so weird, but I still give good responses. So guys, that's it. Just my little second half of the endocrine disruptors, negative feedback loops, hypothalamus, how that tells your reproductive, your testes and your ovaries to produce the right amounts of your hormones, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone. And you guys need to understand more about endocrine disruptors, phytoestrogens, xenoestrogens, fat cells, how they work, and how your liver has to detox the estrogen. You have to freaking crap. You guys aren't crapping enough. You're freaking constipated, and then and then when you're stressed, and then your thyroid stops working. You stop, you're just toxic. I mean, keto can fix this. This is what I love about it. You have to change everything, and that's why all these complaining, sniveling people are like, oh my god, I have to give him my nuts. What's wrong with nuts? And what's wrong with cheese? And what's wrong with caffeine? Well, a lot's wrong, and you don't need me to tell you. Just go research it yourself. Research it yourself. Booyaka! Casein, right? Pesticides, mycotoxins, phytic acids, oxalates, frack you guys up in stress. So learn about the MTHFR gene mutation. Just learn about gene mutations in general and how to have, somebody said, oh my god, black doesn't crack. And so she looks that way at almost 50, Boyaka, because of being black. Now that's a joke. That's ridiculous. It's called epigenetics. It's what you do with your genetics. It's not genetics, guys. It's epi-friggin-genetics. Because everybody, you can take twins and one starts looking different over time. Because one does this and one does that. These people look exactly the same from the beginning. Epigenetics. Read about it, learn about it. Peace out! Oh, as I said, go to Periscope, download the app, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to stephanieperson.com if you want a one-on-one consultation before I stop doing it, which will be in the next year. Peace out, guys!